American gangster, U.S. hustler, home of the brave, and in God we trust. I'm just an American gangster, U.S. hustler, home of the brave, and in God we trust. I'm just an American gangster, U.S. hustler, home of the brave, and in God we trust. I'm just an American gangster, U.S. hustler, home of the brave, and in God we trust. I'm just an American gangster. Chi-town bred, cause I gotta rep the city to the death. Annihilate them till I don't see nothing left. They love it when I spit it for the bitches, now I spit it for the thugs. Hat cocked to the right, hat cocked to the left. Whether it's a forward, it's a focus on your chest. I spit it for the lords and the folks for the crimson for the blood. I'm at the American dream, I roll to the green with the souls and the breeds and the cobras and kings and the 216mm bullets for the niggas that are trying to do the opposite. They don't really wanna see how psycho I can get. I don't really see a motherfucker stopping this. Try to come in at you facing the apocalypse. 40 cal I have a screaming out.
Also, I mean, since we're talking boxing, different matchups and whatnot, this whole Pacquiao-Mayweather thing with the blood test, and I don't know what that's all about. What that's just posturing to do for something else, or just trying to just use that to try to get some other kind of thing they need in the contract. I think, I mean, that's what boxing needs, is big marquee matchups. But also, though, man, speaking of other things that boxing needs, is these club shows that they used to have all the time, man. I mean, you used to be able to go every weekend, Friday night fights, everywhere, Tuesday nights even. I mean, they used to have fight night at the Palace all the time here. I mean, I don't understand why it doesn't seem like they have enough of those shows anymore.
Yeah, it seems like, you know, it just seems like the whole sport of boxing is kind of like deteriorating a little bit, you know, like, I don't know, man. It seems like the referees are stopping fights too soon, and too many fighters' records are padded. I always say this every time. I say, if we were still fighting 15-round fights, 85% of the people that are champs wouldn't be champs.
Yeah.
You know, I wish we could fight 15 rounds. You know,
I say the same thing, man. You really get to see who the champ is.
And it's like, these days, you know, it's a lot different too, because back in the days, you know, how can you call yourself gonna go down as one of the greatest fighters when you stayed ducking a lot of people? Like back in the days, nobody had a perfect record because everybody fought everybody. And if you were a great fighter, you had to fight great fighters. Now it's like, if a great fighter fights another great fighter and barely wins a decision, he got lucky with that, and now they're gonna pick and choose more because they know what time it is. You know, you can't be ducking, guys. If you want to call yourself great, then fight the real fighters. Don't be fighting welterweights that are moving up from 130 and you know, stuffing themselves to barely make 45 and you know, stuff like that. Like, fight a real welterweight. Fight the Kermits, the, you know, Margaritos, the Cotos. Fight them guys. Don't fight, you know, 130.
I think that's right, man. These guys are, like I said, they're trying to like pad their records. They're worried about getting a loss. But back in the day, you had LaMotta and Robinson fought, what, 5-6 times? That's crazy. And then you got guys nowadays that are just like, well, you know, you got this one guy who fought a blown up, a guy that was fighting, what, 16, 17 pounds out of his weight class in a fight against a guy that's been fighting around that weight for a while and didn't even make weight for the fight. Then you got this other guy, no disrespect to Paulie Malignaggi, he just won actually in Chicago.
Yeah, Paulie's a good guy.
I like Paulie.
Yeah, I've been to camp with him before too, real good guy.
I like Paulie. So I mean, that's cool that he would get a chance against a Pacquiao. And
but see, to me that makes more sense though, because Pac-Man is really, you know, I mean, he carries 47, 45, he's solid, but he came up from, what was his first weight class, 108?
Yeah.
So, very light. So, I mean, and Paulie's really 140 pounder, so why not make that fight? Like, that's, to me, I think that's like, you know, man against man, they're about the same size, give or take, you know, a little bit here or there.
Right. So what do you see yourself in the next year or two?
Man, I'm trying to get another fight. Like I said, I had a fight about 4 months ago in Chicago. I stopped the guy, 6th round. I'm supposed to fight again at the end of February. So I'm thinking I'll take that February fight, and then maybe my next fight or one more, then I'm fighting, and I'm back in the top 10, and then we take it from there, you know? I'm not in a rush now. I'm doing it like them guys do it in the beginning, but I'm taking my road now. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm like, okay, you know what? Boxing ain't what it used to be. Everybody ain't a warrior no more. You know what I'm saying? Now you gotta, if everybody else could pick and choose, I could pick and choose a little bit too. But I'll make this point. Even my so-called tune-up fights, which I don't like to call them because I train for every fight the same.
Right.
If I'm training for a guy that's 10-10, I'm training for him like I train for my fight with Mosley or whoever, one of the top dogs. So the fights that I take like that, them guys got more wins than losses. I'm not one of these guys that has like 20 or 30 something fights and fights a guy with more losses than wins. I think that's you know, like you basically spitting on the sport, you know? Like, why don't you be a man and fight somebody that has a chance against you?
I'll tell you something. Roy Jones Jr., when he was in his prime, at 168 and even 175, he could have made matchups against guys that he didn't make, like Darius Mikulaszewski being one of them. A guy, I mean, these are guys he could have beaten at that time, but we'll never know because he didn't fight them. And then now late in his career, he's trying to make these big matchups against younger guys, and people are seeing, wait a minute, you know, and they're beating them. That's why, I mean, so what if you get a loss early on, or a couple losses in your career? You can build from it, right? You're not going to win everything. You have somebody like this.
Learn.
Yeah.
From the losses.
So, is there anything you want to say to anybody out there or whatever?
Yeah, you know what? I got a call for a fight, for a rematch with Abregu. I think it was about like a month or two ago. And they tried to call me like on some 2-week notice shit, right? Everybody knows I won that fight. They try to make the purse like, you know, enticing, like they want to like put the money in my face, like, ooh, like I'm gonna jump at it, you know? I told them, you know what? You know what I did to your boy? Like, give me 2 months to get ready for him, and I'll knock his ass out. But guess what? They don't want to do that. The person I was talking to, I ain't gonna mention no names, told me, if you want the rematch, it's now or never. So I said, okay. So I let it go, but now I'm talking shit every chance I get. Abregu shouldn't be up there. He's not gonna make it, and he don't belong up there because that's my spot. I beat him, you know, and they didn't give it to me. So that's the way I feel about that. I'm just gonna work real hard because I would love to have a rematch with Berto one day, or either him or like I said, anybody with a belt. You know, I'm just gonna be working real hard to get back up there. Chavez Jr.'s handlers, he had a good relationship with him, so he tried to make that fight more than 2 occasions, maybe 3 times, and they won't do it. And that's not even my weight class. And see, that's what I'm talking about. The right fights at 154. I'll take that, man. I'll go to Mexico and fight Chavez Jr. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? I'm
one of them Latin Fury cards.
Right, because I know I'll give him the business. You know, I wouldn't mind fighting him at 154.
It's amazing, man. Like, he was on that Cotto pay-per-view.
That last fight you're talking about?
He's playing a guy from Michigan that we never even heard of.
Yeah, and then
I know a lot.
And the guy went the distance.
Troy Rowling. Some dude out of Grand Rapids.
I give that kid a lot of credit because he did what he did against that guy.
Right.
You know, but
I don't like to disrespect any dude that
with that type of record, that guy shouldn't. Statistically, he shouldn't be able to go more than a few rounds with him. But look, he's what 40-0 with 39 knockouts, and he's still fighting guys. When's he gonna step up and fight somebody in the top 10?
It's amazing, man.
This King Dave Estrada representing the Shy. You're watching the Knockout Blow on dumbout.net.